Culture podcast with Alaska, Curly Castro, and Zilla Rock.
All right, welcome to Call Out Culture, everyone.
We're here.
We're here, two of us. We're going to talk about real rap today.
Yeah,
not that stuff that...
Not that fake rap.
That fake rap, you know, the stuff that they used to do back when everything was peaceful and lovely. And it was never about jewels or crime.
No, never.
No, or
never
the streets.
Celebrated aspirational aspects.
No.
Of people out there.
Nobody ever rapped about cars or girls.
No.
It was all about being best buds and giving each other high fives. That's the rap I grew up on.
That's all I know. You know, virtuous rap.
Virtuous rap.
Hard-working rap.
And the gangbanging with a handshake and a hug.
It was a handshake and a hug. Yeah, we're talking about Naughty by Nature.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's me in Alaska. Carly Castro, We miss you. Unavailable tonight, holding it down.
Feel better, my friend.
Yeah, he rarely takes a day off, except for today, and then when he was on vacation, and then I was on vacation. Outside of that, we're banging it out constantly. Yeah. Shouts to all the podcasts that really record like excess episodes, so that when people are, you know, hurt or on vacation or sick or just exhausted, we're like, we'll just pull up the one about fucking Rotten Rascals we talked about.
The Rotten Rascals, those guys.
Yeah, that's something I want to talk about when we talk about.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that, because they were still talking about being like, I forgot the phrasing they used, but it was like on every single Rotten Rascals feature.
I've only ever heard the Rotten Rascals via Naughty by Nature. I've never peeped Rotten Rascals catalog, their backworks, the old stuff.
Nothing. No.
The way they spell their name is like the most hip hop. Rottin. Rotten. And Rascals. Razkals. Like there's no.
Oh doubt. Yeah, that shit's like the most early '90s spelling possible.
It is great. Naughty by Nature. Yeah. Rotten Rascals. Their album. They peaked at number 28, and then on the R&B charts, but then they're 190 on the U.S. charts overall.
Okay.
Well, album was called Rotten to the Core.
To the Core, yeah.
To the Core, 95. Wow.
Yeah. Were they on Feel Me Flow?
Nah. But they were on a lot of like Poverty's Paradise.
Yeah,
they're on that and moving. Yeah, there's a lot of Rotten Rascal stuff popping up. They have a song called "Hey, All Right."
That's
a song called "Oh Yeah."
Yeah.
Through Illtown / Mad Sounds recordings.
Yeah, and they were also on the Jeanne "Hey Mr. DJ" remix.
Oh, that's them.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. We'll get into the Jeanne and KG and all that.
Yeah,
there's a lot going on.
So we kind of felt like. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, is this a we need to talk about Naughty? Yeah,
this is definitely a we need to talk about. I don't think they are legacy of greatness.
I agree, lineage.
Yeah,
for sure.
Mm-hmm. But you know, it's like I think I've been wanting to talk about these guys for a while. Not Rotten Rascals, Naughty by Nature, because I recently
want to talk about Rotten Rascals, so I won't have much to say.
I recently threw on like 1993, and I was like, man, this is a really good record. Mm-hmm. Like I remember when it came out, like I kind of like slept on it because I was like, it's like the hip hop parade shit.
Yes.
And like this new Souls of Mischief record came out, which I was like basically ready to bite and, you know, copy for the next 2 years as a rapper.
Right.
So like that shit, I was like, that's the old shit. This is the new shit. Mm-hmm. But I went back to it recently. It bangs. Truly. It's a really good fucking record.
It really is. So I think I said last week on the mailbag episode, which was true until today, that I had never played a Naughty by Nature album front to back in my life. I've only ever heard every single they've ever made, and then every B-side to every single they've ever made.
Okay.
That was it. So I've never heard the first album, 1993, Poverty's Paradise, 1999, Icons. I listened to all of these albums. I've made a banging playlist of all of this shit. Like,
they got good shit, man.
I made one of 15 songs, and I left off a lot of the main singles that I've heard, a trillion times in my life, which are still banging. I just was like, I've heard these. So I was just trying to go for more sleeper joints I never heard, and then some kind of like undeniable songs that are singles from them, which to me is their biggest strength. So what? All right. So when I like what you said though about 1993 when you looked at them as old and Souls of Mischief as new.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've talked about this with like Grand Puba in the past, where it's like if his album came out like a year earlier, it would have been gigantic. Okay. The first solo album, but it came out at a time of transition.
Sure.
Where like the sound was changing. I think that also happened with them. At least for like maybe where I was coming from, but it was like, like there was sort of becoming a bit of a harder edge to music. Like 93, like what was out in 93? Like Illmatic came out, right?
No, that's 94. Like
was it 94?
Like, yeah, 93 is like Woo, Tribe Called Quest.
Woo, yeah.
Maybe Onyx.
Doggy Style, maybe.
Doggies, I think, yeah, Doggy Style definitely is 93. Which is
Onyx was 90. Onyx was definitely 93. Black Moon.
I think
to the stage.
Onyx, was
Onyx was out by then. Cool G Raps like Live and Let Die was out then.
Yes, Balloon Mindset. Here you go. Black Sunday, Cypress Hill. Ooh,
yeah,
God, we got
Daily Operation. I think was out then, or maybe just dropped in like late 92.
Yeah, No Need for Alarm. Inner City Griots. Brand New Being a God. Oh, Down with the King. I just thought about that album yesterday. Run DMC, Down with the King, coming out. Yeah, so it's a really transitional year. Like Ice Cube, Lethal Injection, Fat Joe's first album, Represent, Ultra Mag, Four Horsemen. It's an interesting. You know what it was? It like the end of the year is kind of what shaped what was going to be coming out afterwards.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like De La, Balloons, like basically third, fourth quarter is like De La, Souls, KRS, Return to Boom Bap, Black
that was the same. I think those two albums, Souls of Mischief, KRS, and this dropped on the same day, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, well then peep this. Here we go. Yeah. Ready? So then you have, so November 9th, 1993, you have Midnight Marauders and 36 Chambers.
Okay.
And then November 23rd, you have Doggy Style and No Need for Alarm. You know what I mean? Like that kind of chops off. It's like the last remaining like late 80s, early 90s rap, and just sets like the mid 90s onto a course.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? And so Naughty, the interesting thing playing this album for the first time ever today. I mean, we're not talking about just 1993, but when I was playing it today, I was just like, you hear, what jumped out to me the most was the Flavor Unit shit is nuts.
Oh, Flavor Unit shit is crazy.
Oh my God. Like Sleeping on Jersey with Latifah, Ready for Them with Heavy D, Hot Potato with Freddie Fox.
Yep.
I was like, yo, I'll say this about COVID. It allowed me to really spend a lot of time early on last year with Queen Latifah, Black Rain, which is like now one of my favorite albums ever. And then a lot of Heavy D. I spent a lot of time with Heavy D during early COVID months.
Yeah.
And I only really knew Heavy again through singles. I wasn't banging like Heavy D records.
Yeah, Blue Funk is such a good record.
That album's crazy. And then what's the other one I like? Blue Funk is the jam. And then Nothing But Love.
Yeah.
I like Nothing But Love too.
Yeah, Nothing But Love was an interesting record because it kind of came out, and maybe my timeline's a little off, but I definitely feel like it came out like around the Ill and Out Scratch time.
Yes.
So there was 94. Like definitely, it was definitely like that sort of like old school player vibe going on there, where it was like kids were kind of like trying to dress like they were in the 70s.
Yes.
You know, like leather jackets, like long leather jackets were making a comeback. So that was like sort of the style they were rocking, which was kind of a dope style.
It is. And so Naughty, listening to 1993 and hearing Heavy and Stretch go back and forth, which is fire. And then hearing like Freddie Fox when he's young, just
oh my God, Freddie Fox goes off.
He's nuts. And then hearing Latifah just doing the hook on Sleeping on Jersey, I was like, man, this And then you have the singles on top of, like Hip Hop Hooray, which is track 2, which is fire. I mean, It's On has always been one of my favorite. On and on and on and on and on. Check it. But then the original version, I'd never heard of Written on Your Kitten, the original, which is not good.
No, it's not good at all.
The remixes, the QD3 remix is fire.
Yeah.
I always love that song. It's a really good album. It's like 4 mics.
Yeah, I would say it should be about that.
I'll give it a 4. But I actually liked the first album a little bit better.
First album is better.
Yeah, I liked. Here's what I will say though. What I didn't like about the first album was the opening song, "Yoke the Joker," is not a good opener.
Now the first 2 songs aren't particularly great.
Like that. "Wickedest Man Alive" is actually fire with Latifah.
Yeah, that song is great.
That song is great, but it goes from like "Yoke the Joker," which is like this really hard, heavy story joint, to "Wickedest Man Alive," which is insane, to like "OPP, everything's gonna be all right."
Yeah,
and then but then they
"Yoke the Joker" is the second song, right? It's
the first song. I'm looking at the track list. It's the first.
No, I'm sorry. "Wickedest Man Alive" is the second song.
Yeah, that's the second song. That joint's great.
Maybe I thought "Guard Your Grill" was the second song.
"Guard Your Grill." Like I really love 1, 2, 3 with Lakim, Shabazz, and Apache.
Yeah.
Another one, Apache.
Pin the Tail on the Donkey. He goes off on that
song's
song.
insane. "Guard Your Grill" is crazy. I mean, and then closing it with "Uptown Anthem." I mean, wait.
Uptown Anthem was not on the original record.
Okay, because I was going to say you have to open the album. That's such an album opener.
Yeah, that was like a retcon. That was not on the original record.
Yeah, you know what? Okay, so there's a note on Wikipedia. It says Uptown Anthem first appeared on the Juice soundtrack and did not appear on early releases of the album, which makes sense because this dropped 91, Juice came out 92. Yeah. Okay, this is what the interesting thing.
Yeah, Everything's Gonna Be Alright was called Ghetto Bastard too. That's when it first dropped. It was called Ghetto Bastard.
God damn. Here's what I'll say. About this album, we're kind of going all over the place with the order of things, but excuse me, this album is like they kind of set a lot of the foundations of what they would do for the next 30 years.
Yeah,
which is really cool.
It's cool, but it also hurt them.
Agreed.
Yeah,
but I think the foundation it laid from, again, listening to every single song they made in one day was that they have the kind of like Guard Your Grill type of records where it's like grimy but really, really catchy. Then they have the actual anthem songs like Uptown Anthem, right?
Yeah.
Then they have the super catchy taking over the radio songs like OPP, where Tretch is like really going crazy rhyming.
Yeah, he's going nuts rhyming.
Right, but the song is like super fucking catchy. And then you have like Everything's Gonna Be All Right, Wickedest Man Alive, where it's like super melodic and clean and pretty.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So there's like variants of those styles to me, like devastating effects as time went on. But they kind of like, I think, and I would love to hear your opinion on this. I think the success of OPP, Everything's Gonna Be All Right, and Uptown Anthem, and those were big records,
huge records.
I mean, like me and Griff were talking like a couple weeks back, and I'll tell you why off air. But like, I think OPP, because I was 91, I was 9 years old when this album came out, right?
Yeah.
I think OPP was the first sample I ever like spotted. Like upon release, I was like,
I know exactly why you're going to talk to me about what, because you talked to me about it too. But yeah, okay.
I'm like, that is Jackson 5 ABC. How cool is that? I know that song. This song is a man rapping on that.
Yeah.
And he's talking about something I'm not allowed to think about because it's taboo and I'm a kid. But remember like the hats? They were like a black baseball hat with like a metallic silver front and brim that said like OPP.
Yeah.
It looked like a Rhythm Nation 18.
Yeah, it was definitely a Rhythm Nation vibe now. It was definitely on like Club MTV.
Yeah, it was like a hat you could wear feasibly at batting practice if a ball could only hit the front of the top of your forehead.
Front of your mouth.
So that was fire. That was a great hat. I'm gonna wear. I'm gonna see if I can find it. I'm gonna see if I can.
Oh, you should definitely try to get one.
I'm gonna see if I can find an OfferUp. I've been having a lot of success. I've been making a lot of money on OfferUp. I just sold some of my kids' toys today.
What the fuck is OfferUp?
You don't fuck with OfferUp?
No, I never even
Bro,
heard of it.
you ain't with the new e-commerce gang.
No, man, I don't have time for that shit.
Dude, I've been selling so much shit. All right, I was see Naughty by Nature hat.
Somebody's selling a 2014 Jeep Cherokee for $9,999, or a 2020 Subaru Outback for like 30 grand.
That's not what? No.
Yeah.
I'll give you 15. We'll talk. Naughty by Nature hat. No results. All right. I have Poshmark and Macari. I'll see if I can find it. Someone's selling this hat. There's someone
sure.
in the world that was like a roadie or like a college DJ. But anyway, what okay, so tell me your vibes then on like why you wanted to talk about Naughty by Nature outside of
well, there was two things. There's one, like just rediscovering that record. It sort of led me down the rabbit hole.
Okay.
And it was really appreciating how good of a rapper Tretch was.
Yes.
Like, he does not get talked about nearly enough.
No, he doesn't.
And then on the other side, how good of a producer KG is.
Agreed.
Who again doesn't get caught. Like, I always thought of this, like back in the day when they came out, I always thought, like, when people thought of like horns, they thought of Pete Rock. Correct. Pete Rock was the go-to guy when you're getting a horn.
Yes.
To me, I always saw him as the piano version of that. Like, if you want a piano sample, go see KG, because he's going to give you the best piano sample.
Good.
So yeah, it was just really like just rediscovering them after not listening to them for a while, because you know, I mean, let's be honest, like Poverty's Paradise is probably like a 3-mic album. It's got some good joints.
Yeah, but there's
got a
like
lot of whack joints on it.
There's a lot of forgettable shit.
But by then it was like they were just like kind of done, right? They were regulated to the world of jock jams.
And my thing is, I was a big jock jams guy.
Yeah.
So like this was like right in my wheelhouse, a basketball practice, listening to Feel Me Flow and all that shit. You know what I mean? Like this is my lane right here. So they were definitely
Flow is great.
It's amazing.
And that's the vibe they needed to go in more, I think,
even like
as they
Clap
got
Your
older.
Hands. Like that was like Clap Your Hands. That was a big basketball practice song for me as well.
Yeah, just like those sort of like fun anthems that nobody else could really make.
Correct.
Like they were able to pull it off, and it's really hard to make songs like that and not be completely corny. And they did it every time. Like every time they did that, they made a great version of it.
They really did.
It was just fun. It was like barbecue music.
Even looking at my track listing, I whipped together today from, again, cherry picking every album. I picked from Poverty's Paradise. I picked 4 songs.
Okay.
I picked 5. I'm sorry. Hang Out and Hustle, which is my shit. Even though it's like Weed Carriers, G Love of Road Dogs, and I Face Finsta of Cruddy Click, which is I Face Finsta.
I Face Finsta. That's a terrible name.
Yeah. So the song is, the beat's fire and it's cool, but like you just have to go through like these 2 randos to get to Tretch, who destroys it.
Yeah.
And of course, there's like, they always talk about Chris Webber. He's on the album, Webber Skit.
Okay.
He's on it. They have another song with Rotten Rascals, Cruddy Click, and Road. Like this album, like they're really trying to build their little empire of.
Yeah, I mean, they've really been trying to get the Rotten Rascals, and then they have a really bad song with somebody named Gordon Chambers.
Yeah, that's terrible.
The shout out track.
No, but then they have, but like, Feel Me Flow, Craziest still was amazing.
Yeah.
Dude, I found the Feel Me Flow Ali Shaheed Muhammad remix. It's amazing. Oh, it's on iTunes, so I added that joint.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's Poverty's Paradise, and the weird thing is, like, it's sold. I think they won a Grammy for it. It debuted. You ready for this? It peaked at number 3 Billboard 200.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. We forget how big they were.
They were huge.
They were gigantic. Dude, Naughty by Nature had a Spike Lee video.
Yes,
like right out the box.
Yeah, for Hip Hop Array, right?
Yeah,
yeah, he did that video.
And this is like Malcolm X Spike Lee, like not I'm trying to get on Spike Lee.
No.
You know, like Public Enemy, I'll do you a favor and do your video if you do my song, Spike Lee. This is like I'm Spike Lee, Spike Lee.
Yeah, and 1993 peaked number 3 in the Billboard 200.
Wow.
Like these are massive. I mean, and this is a time when people could, like when we talked about Hammer doing like 15 million.
Yeah.
You could do 3 to 5 million if you're big enough in rap back then.
Easily.
So okay, and then the first album, the self-titled album, that peaked 16. At number 16. Okay.
Yeah.
But OPP was number 6 single in America.
Yeah.
Wow. Holy shit. So that was a #1 rap single, #5 Billboard, #1 dance.
Yeah,
dance.
Everything Gotta Be All Right was #9 rap single.
I still love that song.
Yeah,
and Uptown Anthem. I mean, those three songs, just like if they only did those 3 songs and were gone forever, I think they would I think they would be more revered than they are.
Oh, without question. I mean, and then without question, but then you also have to look beyond like the record sales of what they became. Mm-hmm. Like, especially like Tretch. Tretch got a weird career going, man.
He has a really weird career. Like, I don't. Why don't we do this? Why don't we take our first break and we'll just talk about Tretch for a minute? Because I think there's a lot. I think there's a lot to say about it. We're not going to unpack or deep dive. We're going to think critically and have a conversation about Tretch.
Oh, look at that.
you know what? And people now are fucking with me on Twitter about deep dives. My problem is this: Google itself is a deep dive. The internet exists to deep dive. That's the point of it. Whether you want to look up fishing hooks, whether you want to look up remedies for your nosebleed, your busted capillaries, you want to look up fucking Chuck Klosterman books. The internet itself is a deep dive. So pretending that podcasts invented deep dives is an insult to this World Wide Web we share together. That's all. I just want to say that.
No question.
So if you want to keep fucking with me on Twitter, go for it. I'm going to respond to you. The internet is a deep dive. That's it. All right, let's take our first break. Co-out culture, Alaskanzilla hanging out, part 2, Naughty by Nature edition.
Doing our thing.
Hello, call out culture. Dano from FreeMusicEmpire.com. We are at the heart of this underground hip hop stuff. Breakdowns, analysis, interviews. Our YouTube channel has long form conversations. Subscribers are getting additional benefits and recommendations. Weekly hip hop discussions. We love it. Follow Call Out Culture. Follow us. FreeMusicEmpire.com. That's FreeMusicEmpire.com.
Yo, what up? It's Alex Ludovico, and I'm inviting you to check out, as of Friday, April 2nd, my new compilation, Cocaine and Therapy. Executive produced by my man, the God, Zilla Rocca. Available only at insubordinaterecords.com. Don't go to streaming, don't go to your little Apple or Spotify. insubordinaterecords.com. Check out the merch for the record, and then check out Zilla's dope merch that's coming out with it. It's a combination release between Insubordinate and $3 Pistol. Peace.
Wish I was a little bit cooler. Wish I was a hooper. Wish I had a girl that looked good I could scoop her. In a sick whip with a floor kit. I ain't got shit. Oh damn, I'm a loser. Wish I was a little bit cooler. Wish I was a hooper. Wish I had a girl that looked good I could scoop her. In a sick whip with a floor kit. I ain't got shit. Oh damn, I'm a loser.
And we're back. All right.
Culture.
So let's talk about Tretch a little bit, because
we need to talk about Tretch.
That's a weird career, man.
It's a really
weird career.
He's so the more I listen to it again, every song, he gets better, like marketably, from the first album to the second album. He's pretty great on the first album.
Yeah, and then he gets better on the second.
He gets better, and then when you get to Poverty's Paradise, it's only weird because, again, like there's more Vin Rock, and there's more. I think they're trying to start a label or like branch out. So there's like all these randos again.
More Rotten Rascal shit, and
there's a lot of skits and Rotten Rascals and Road Dogs, Cruddy Click. I mean, whatever. But the weird part is, like, most of these guys, most weed carrier groups, the one dude raps exactly like Tretch.
Yeah. See, so I thought the Rotten Rascals sounded crazy like the Youngsters.
They did. That's who they sounded like.
But I was just going through it again. I was like, wow, the Youngsters straight up jack these dudes all style.
Well, the Youngsters like just rap like whoever was in the
whoever was hot at the moment.
Yeah, like they like the one album they started rapping in just like Mobb Deep because the Infamous was hit, and so like Mobb Deep was on the album. I don't think they wrote anything on their own. But
and then Cruise Pop was on some Onyx shit.
Cruise Pop, and then Hip Hop Ride is basically a Naughty by Nature song.
Yeah.
Come on, let me take you on a hip hop ride. Shout out to the Youngsters, but they definitely were just like industry dudes. Just whatever you needed to be done, they did it.
Yeah.
Who's ever hot? Shave your head, okay?
Yeah, like, we'll do whatever you need. Carry a mini baseball bat that I got from the Yankees game. Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah, they went to Bate.
92. My parents took us to Bate to see
the Yanks. Yeah, and then by the time you get to 1999, Nature's Fury. I mean, it's just very. I guess here's the thing. He's never really trash. Like I listened to Icons, which is an O2. They moved on from KG.
Yeah.
The beats are like unbelievably bad. It's all like it's all
really bad beats.
It's all really bad, like fake Rock Wilder beats, and we forget he really Rock Wilder really like affected the sound of music for like a year and a half.
Yeah.
And like we really did need the Jay-Z Blueprint sound to like wipe that shit out.
That shit had to go.
It's all like
it would have killed
noises
rap if it stayed.
Yeah, it's all like fart sounding chords and and then like shitty hand claps. It's like a really bad. When we did our worst era in rap, that could have been like a sequel, like the Rock Wilder sound.
Yeah, Rock Wilder sounds pretty good. Although the song "The Rock Wilder" by Meth and Redman's amazing.
Here's my controversial take. The intro is amazing. The beat sucks. The intro is if you could just sample.
I guess maybe the rapping is so good on it. The rapping is they go off so hard on that song.
Mm-hmm.
The beat is just very basic.
The beat is. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the beat. And then they do like the Cypress Hill shit, and it's like one verse each. The song's over.
Yeah, it's over.
But the intro is incredible.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So yeah, it's ill. So anyway,
anybody wants to sample that, by the way, feel free.
Please sample that.
Yeah.
So Icons is really weird, and then you get to one called Anthem Inc., where they just do.
I didn't even get that far.
Yeah, I went there, bro. I did it.
Wow, you're a better man than I am.
Yeah, so like by the time he does that record, he's clearly like the old guy with the content trying to keep it going, but the flow and the delivery is so ill. It really doesn't matter how corny some of the lines are.
Yeah,
and that's what's amazing about Tretch.
It kind of falls off though as he gets older. Like he's not as in the pocket as he was. Like you could tell he's just like, all right, I got to do this.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, this is now a job. Like there's no passion behind it, but that happens to everybody. But the thing that really started, like, I guess as I was listening to his stuff, I went through like the same. I didn't get as far into the records as you did. I think I got through some of like the Lycons or whatever the fuck that album was called.
Icons, yeah, Icons. 2 eyes.
I thought it was like, it's 2 eyes. I thought it was capital L or lowercase L. Like a llama, like Lycons. He's still talking about Punani all the time. Like he's still saying, stuffing things in Punani all the time.
Talks about that.
And still like writing on kittens like that. The thing he took away from his earlier work was I created the word kitten.
He did.
Like that's the thing he took away from it. And that's a weird thing to take away from it. Because there's so much like really iconic stuff.
Yes.
And that's what you took.
So
because there's a lot of it in the later material.
There's a lot
talking about that.
You know what's amazing about him too is that he I think Bright Loud Matt Shasta Matt, he was bringing up shit from that album, the Anthem Inc. album, and was saying that there's one song where it's basically like him doing the Eminem shit better than Eminem.
Okay.
And I was like, interesting. And he was like, basically like Eminem could never do this type of shit. Even though Eminem has tried and really, he shouted out Tretch all day. But the difference is that Eminem is a better writer of raps than Tretch. Like he just is, and I shit on Eminem all the time. However, when you listen to Tretch, even with some of the clunkier lines or like some of the stuff that's not the most hitting, I was thinking about, I'm like, the way I realized, to me, like DMX has the best voice in rap. I think Tretch has the best delivery in rap.
I can see it. I mean, you could definitely make the case.
Because all of the weird production choices and things they've done over time, I mean, it's kind of standard for anybody being around 30 years on a major label. Like you're gonna do strange shit.
Yeah.
But even, and again, and this came out in 2011. Anthems Inc. He's kind of going for it still.
Interesting.
And really, like he doesn't say, like, some of the bars themselves sound like things he has done over time. Like he hasn't, by that point, now that's a 10-year-old album. By that point, he has not transitioned into another stage of his persona or his vulnerability or anything like that. But when you just hear him spit, like the one joint, I remember when it came out back then, I was blown away by it. It's called I Got a Lotta. He's snapping on that shit, man.
Okay.
He crushes that. Naughty Nation crushes that. Like, and there's a song with Queen Latifah called God Is Us, which is the same sample Common used with Dilla on B, where he just is, it's like a personal joint. He's kind of doing his thing. Other than that, it's a mess. But I'm like, at that point, he was in year 20. So he was 20 years deep. So that was 2011, and he dropped 91. So he was 20 years in, like going at it. And I was like, okay, all right. So I don't know what he would do right now. But let me ask you this: what was his most influential period on rap, on culture? Like, what do you think it is?
It's definitely the first record. Just because, like, if you look at sort of like everybody bit his style afterwards, and not just like his rapping style, his presence.
Yes.
Even if you look at like shit like Illegal, their whole like sort of like their movements, the way they did everything was completely by Treach.
Yes, with that head thing.
The head thing and like the hands like up here, like you're karate chopping across.
Yes.
Some shit. And their first record came out in like what, like 90, 93. So it was probably like, Untold Truth came out in 93, August 93. Yes. So they were still like kind of like feeling off of that shit.
Mm-hmm.
But like, that was sort of like the way people moved. And that was a big way you could tell who was very influential in the culture at that time, because of the way like their presence would be copied. Like it happened with Snoop Dogg.
Yes.
Like in 94, like, everybody just sort of like picked up his whole vibe, the way they walked in their videos, the way like they moved themselves and held themselves. So I think like it's that, it's obviously the first two records, but I would say like the first album, Uptown Anthem, like leading to 1993, but then 1993 kind of fizzled a little bit because there was enough other cool shit coming through that they're like, oh, we could be like Wu-Tang now.
Right. But I think to the like the diehards and like the artists, yes, like we said at the beginning, like that end of 93, but Hip Hop Hooray was like a dominant cultural force still, even though the album didn't have the influence. It
was cultural outside of the culture, I think, more than it was inside. Right. Yeah. And I think that's where it really took off. But it also, like, I think it kind of, even though the album did very well sales-wise, it hurt the prestige of that album a little bit.
How so?
Because it became such a big pop hit. Like, people just started looking at them as pop artists.
Yeah, well, you know what it was too with the the video with the hand waving shit.
Yeah,
that like turned into like a novelty for people outside of rap.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like I remember,
exactly. It's like what your dad would do. Your grandma would do at a barbecue.
Yeah, but like on a song, he's like shouting out Cypress Hill and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's like he's that's what I'm saying. Like the genius I think of Treach as a rapper is he has made a lot of big songs.
Yeah.
But how he approaches it is like from a rapper's point of view.
Even like, all of his pop songs, in a lot of ways, he's like LL on that level. But the thing that LL did with his big pop songs, he simplified.
Yes.
Whereas Treach didn't do that. He sort of like stayed Treach.
Yes.
He let everything else get a little more simplified around him.
Totally.
Where he just stayed like sort of like focused on who he was as the rapper, where LL sort of like leveled down for who he wanted to hit.
even like Will Smith, right? Like
Yeah.
Will Smith, brand new funk shit like that. But Will Smith also, like we said, he understood this for this song to hit this place. I kind of like put it in. It's he was kind of like Tretch. He was kind of like Rakim. Like Rakim just wrote like Rakim at all times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Here's a Rakim song about women. Here's a Rakim song about God. Here's a Rakim song about fake MCs. Rakim song about getting paid. But it's still like the same level of depth and like layers and technical prowess. Whether it's, I Know You Got Soul or Mahogany or Follow the Leader, like he's doing it.
Yeah.
And then as time changes and sounds evolve, that changes. But he's just kind of like going at it.
Definitely. That's a really good analogy. I was thinking LL because there was like sort of like similar elements of like being like the sex symbol of the time.
Oh, total. Oh,
and it was like it was oddly like he looked like he smelled, but he was still a sex symbol.
Who, LL or Tretch?
Tretch.
A lot of sweat.
Yeah, it was like smell,
but
Cool J.
Yeah, but not like in the what's the name, the What a Man video. I was like, he smells like shit. Probably.
Yeah, he smelled like motorcycle grease.
Yeah, he really did. But he bagged Pep, who was like, I was totally in love with her when like What a Man hit. I was like, oh my god, and Shoop and all that. I'm looking at his acting credits too, right? So he was in Juice, and he got Tupac the role in Juice because he was trying to get the role of Bishop, and he told Pac to come through, and then Pac got the role, and he played Rodham as his man. He's in Meteor Man, which is a fucking classic.
Wow.
Meteor Man is, oh my god. Bill Cosby's like the messiah of the movie, which is fucking hilarious. He probably raped 3 people on the set of Meteor Man.
Oh my god, easily.
He definitely raped 3 people.
And then talk down to people for wearing their pants.
And then he told Trish, "Hey, pull up your pants. You're disgracing the black community." And then he rapes
goddamn thugs.
Then he's in Jason's Lyric. He's in New York Undercover.
Yeah.
He's in a TV movie called First Time Felon. Castro I think he just did a rewatch or watched Oz. He was in Oz.
Okay.
I only saw.
He was in Boricua's Bond.
Yep, Soul Food, Empire. That's a kind of a slept-on movie. I like that movie.
I don't remember that one.
I remember Loving a Bullet. Oh my god, this movie was like.
I remember that one. He was like a spy or something, right?
You know what this movie was? When I used to work at Coconuts, this movie was like always a DVD on sale for $7.
Yes,
it was always on sale.
But I've watched it like 3 times. Because it would just be like something that was on, and I was like, whatever.
Well, then he was recently in a like a B movie knockoff of Pacific Rim that's on the new Mystery Science Theater on Netflix.
Really?
It is fucking hilarious.
Wait, what's it called?
It's called The Day in the Life. I don't know. It's I don't think it's listed on his IMDb. It's not on his IMDb, but it's a knockoff of. Yeah, like when they do like those Sharknado joints,
yeah,
it's like that, but of Pacific Rim.
Okay.
And so the newer seasons of MST3K did it, and I'm like the whole time watching like Tretch get clowned.
Wow.
Science Theater.
That's amazing, dude. But he's made the round on the Law and Orders. So he was on Law and Order Trial by Jury, Law and Order Criminal Intent. Then he swung from there over to the CBS CSI Crime Scene Investigation as Lincoln Mayfield. And then he was also in Blue Bugs as Tyrell Green.
Okay, so the movie's called From the Sea. It was originally called Atlantic Rim. It was originally called Atlantic Rim, and then it got sued. So it's called From the Sea.
Atlantic Rim.
Yo, it is hilarious. You have to watch the MST3 version. Version. It is unbelievably funny. I'm gonna rewatch it actually.
He was in Sopranos.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah, because they wanted him to shoot. They wanted to shoot They wanted him to shoot somebody or get shot because that was like when rappers were getting shot to get buzz.
Yeah.
So he was going to shoot somebody or get shot in the ass or something like that. They were going to
something like shot in the meaty part of the flesh.
Yeah, like he goes from like arguably the biggest prestige show in HBO cable history to fucking Atlantic Rim.
My God, I mean, he's a working actor. He's becoming a character actor.
Yeah, I saw him on one of the VH1 shows where he was on. It was like a therapy show. It was actually like really profound and moving, where like they brought his dad on the show, and his like Tretch's dad, yes. Okay. And so basically what he says on Everything's Gonna Be All Right, all those songs, like his song called like Your Father's on the Street Corner or something like that, one of the albums. He has had like a really fucked up life with his father. Like his dad was just a straight up like street scumbag.
Yeah.
And so they brought his dad. He hadn't talked to his dad in like all these years. They brought him on, and the whole time Tretch was on like this therapy show on VH1. He was a great dude. It was like couples therapy. Where like him and his wife, or like longtime living girlfriend wife. She wasn't, women are still throwing themselves at Tretch when he's doing like those old school shows and shit.
Yeah.
And then him being an actor and running around. So they went on the show together. But he was like really, he was the opposite of how Ghostface just revealed himself to be an utter buffoon when it came to women.
Just a complete scumbag.
Yes, Tretch was the opposite. He was like really mature, like listening to the therapist's advice, like really examining his own life and trauma. It was like really profound. I was like, at the time I was like, wow, Tretch has a lot of depth to him. I didn't know what to expect.
Well, yeah. I mean, we could also talk about his other film career.
Out of porn?
Yeah.
What
I mean, I don't really want to talk about it, but there's that whole other career in film, or shall I say cinema?
Cinema.
But wait, real quick before we go to the next topic, in 1990 or 1991,
right,
when New Kids on the Block were dropping Step by Step,
and
Naughty by Nature was dropping like Ghetto Child, fucking Wickedest Man. Right. Who would have thought some 25, 26 years later that Tretch would be doing a guest spot on Mark Wahlberg's show? I'm sorry, Donnie Wahlberg's show on CBS.
They did shows together.
Oh, did they? They toured together?
Yes.
Amazing.
I don't think at that time. I think like the later, the revival tours.
Yeah.
I think Naughty did shows. I read it on somewhere when I was reading about everything today. They did shows with New Kids.
Wow.
I mean, they still make a ton of money because they do like 200 shows a year. So all this shit with him and Vinrock, like him and Vinrock, like remember they like trashing each other years ago?
Yeah.
And it was bad. But then they're still like, okay, we're not friends. We don't fuck with each other. But the amount of money we're going to leave on the table to not do these shows is ridiculous. So you're over there. I'm over here. The show's at 9. We're done at 10:30. We'll talk to you tomorrow. That's it.
Amazing.
Yeah, because they were just like, the money is stupendous. We can't turn it down. I think the other thing I thought about Tretch too was that he, it's weird that to me, I've only ever heard about Eminem and Freeway giving him credit.
I never even heard about Freeway until you said that earlier today.
Yeah, Freeway shouted out like him and Drez from Black Sheep as like his flow gods, which makes a ton of sense when you listen to Freeway.
Yeah, it does.
Because like Tretch is like the Gatling gun flow, but then he can change pockets. Like there was a couple songs I was listening to him today where I'm like, he kind of changes his flow like every 4 to 8 bars into something totally different. But then other songs will keep the same pocket the whole time and it's banging. Like I'd be fascinated to know what his background is musically, because when you listen to their whole discography, there's a lot of reggae influences. Like that's all in there from the first album to the last shit, which is really fucking cool to me. And then, but I'm like, does he have like a jazz background like Biggie? You know what I mean? Like what was his thing that he just knew really well?
Let's see if we can find it.
I couldn't find anything about Tretch and talking about like how he did it. Because again, you were right. Like before he hit, like even that line he says on one of the songs where he's like, he says like something about Jermaine down in Atlanta, he owes me for that jump shit. You know what I mean? Like everyone running with his style for like a year, with the hat and the hoodie and the baseball bats. And like, you're right. Even like the EPMD hardcore, I mean, Headbanger video is like a Naughty by Nature shit.
Yeah.
Like everything about that is Naughty.
So So I just found out something
What's up?
that's kind of crazy to me. Tretch is the older brother of the rapper Diesel from Rotten Rascals.
Oh, well, there you go. So straight
explains a lot.
nepotism. Yes, straight
Yeah.
nepotism. Straight nepotism. I'm not mad at that, man. Fuck it. Like whatever.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah.
Put your people on, man.
Why not?
Put them on a lot, like a lot of Rotten Rascals, Rotten
Exactly.
Rascals over the years. Jesus Christ! But the market spoke when the Rotten Rascals album dropped. Shit's tanked. Yeah. So I guess is there anything else you want to say about Tretch? And then we'll take a break.
No, I think I'm good.
I think we nailed
Wow.
it.
Sorry, I just realized that he was actually on the song Cruise Pop.
Yeah, Cruise Pop is the head. Pop, pop, pop.
I didn't realize he was on that song. Did he have a verse?
Maybe he wrote it.
Okay. Because it shows him as an artist.
Is he the most handsome rapper ever?
It says featuring.
Is he the most handsome rapper ever?
I mean, I don't know. I was just saying how he was smelly. So,
well, his hygiene has nothing to do with how handsome he is.
I mean, I could see it being in the discussion.
I feel like if you had like a really, I don't know how to say it, like a more like fashion forward, like focused Hollywood approach to things, if you could see him in different looks over time,
Yeah.
to like really flex. I think he's like more handsome as he's gotten older.
See, I think the opposite.
Really?
Yeah, because he still dresses the same. And like,
Well, that's my problem. But I mean,
Yeah.
like his look, his profile, everything about. I just think he's just like, he's one of those guys that just was like always gonna look like amazing. You know,
Yeah.
he's never had a bad day or like, I can't leave the house today. I kind of look like shit. It's like never happened for him.
Well, according to Essence magazine, he's not in the list of the top 10 or top.
What?
Hold on, I'm
Rappers?
going through the list. Yeah, he's not in the top 15 according to Essence magazine.
Well, who the fuck is Essence?
I mean, it's the Essence.
Oh God.
But here's where they take the
name
big L.
14
Nas is
rappers.
number one.
I think Nas like a is a really handsome guy. But
Is
he's
or
not
is
more handsome. He's not more handsome than Tretch.
No.
Sorry.
I mean, then Pac, Method Man,
Oof.
Game,
The Game? No.
Future,
No.
Q-Tip,
No. I think
Chance the Rapper.
He's Chance is he's not like you put Tretch and Chance in a room with women.
Oh no, it's not even close.
Not even close.
Andre,
Oof. Nah, not more handsome than Tretch.
Big Sean,
No.
ASAP Rocky,
No way. He's pretty. He's a pretty boy. He's pretty.
LL,
Oh.
Drake,
No, Drake, no.
Nelly,
No way.
Common,
No.
and T.I. according to
Get the fuck. I think his
Essence.
biggest competition is LL.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely there.
I mean, like Drake is like a smooth, clean cut ass, Canadian singing biracial man, but like Tretch, I don't know, man. I think it's like LL and Nas really are strong contenders.
Well, I think it's also like we said, like people just forgot about it.
Yeah,
It's almost like they didn't happen for some reason. It's like
you know what it is. I've been thinking about this a lot. All right, why don't we take a break, and after this break, I'll talk about why we both think.
yeah.
And then we'll talk about KG and all that, and Vin Rock, because Castro right now is going fucking insane. Like, why y'all talk about Vin Rock? He's the best part. He's the backbone, a naughty by nature. Vin motherfucking Rock.
I mean, I will say this: he's a much more capable rapper than I remember him.
He's I don't
He's
know how much
pretty
he wrote.
damn good.
Yes, and I have questions about the Vin Rock shit. So
Okay.
I'm gonna take this grapefruit Hefeweizen break.
All right, let's do it.
We'll be right back. Give me 1 second.
Shablam, shablow. Are the four elements keeping you down? Do you find yourself cutting your fingers every time you work on a flyer or an insert? Are you tired of being asked to boost your ads or buy ad space? Well, the boys at Griff Company, we have the solution for you. Now, all jokes aside, this is Wrecking Crew consultation. If you think that your hip-hop career could use a battery burst, do you feel like you want to have some type of counsel and a soundboard, Or do you just need a good old pep talk? We can help you out here. Zilla Rocca and myself, Curly Castro, we are offering our consulting services at nominal fees. So if that's something you're interested in, shoot us an email, give us a call, and we'll help you out. Tell me, when was the first time you fell in love with hip-hop?
Call Out Culture podcast, Alaskan Zilla. Shouts to Castro. So since we did that, the Hefeweizen and break, a couple of things. Why did it seem as though in the landscape of rap now, or conversations or anything, they don't seem to really exist anywhere? No one's ever like, one of the best groups of all time is Naughty by Nature.
No,
never.
Their albums are never in the best,
never
best rap records.
Fucking never. And
never.
I think what I was thinking a lot today was specifically about this. Why do they not seem to exist beyond jock jams, fucking soundtracks with like a 90s hit in it now? You know what I mean? Like they don't. And I'm sure, again, like if they were coming to my city and the tickets were reasonable, I would fucking definitely go see Naughty by Nature.
Yeah, why not?
Right? Because we were saying, like, briefly before we came back, like the hooks are fucking incredible. You know what I mean? And every kind of hook. Like Written on a Kitten does not sound like Craziest, does not sound like OPP.
No.
They're really varied. And like the fact there's no ghostwriters, there's no teams behind these guys coming up with these amazing hooks, like Uptown Anthem, it's on. It's like very skillful and incredible. And that's really, really, really hard to do, even for like 2 albums. They did it for like probably Poverty's Paradise. Again, it's not a great record, but there's banging hooks on
there's
that.
Joints on there,
Yeah. So why don't they really exist? And I was thinking why. I think it's 2 things. I think one of them is Flavor Unit fell off.
Okay.
So we were saying before on 1993, you have like Queen Latifah crushing it. You have Heavy crushing it. You have Freddie Fox crushing it. The first album, you have Lakim, Shabazz, and Apache crushing it.
Okay.
Right. By the time you get to Poverty's Paradise, Latifah's not really in rap anymore. She's like getting more just into acting, like Living Single, Set It Off. Heavy is kind of like being phased out. You know what I mean? Like the New Jack Swing, you know what I mean? Like Lover Man type of shit. I don't think he's really a factor by the time Poverty's Paradise hits.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I feel like Hev like really peaked with like Now That We Found Love, Blue Funk. Then after that, it was kind of like he started acting a little bit too, and then producing later on. But he wasn't like a force that he was late 80s, early 90s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that was done. Freddie Fox was just kind of like blackballed by the industry, and then come back out again to like 98 indie. Apache pretty much is a one-hit wonder by that point.
One-hit wonder,
yeah. So I think like that. What I'm getting at is by the time you get to Poverty's Paradise, like they are not connected to anything.
No.
And like where they're from in Jersey, there's really no one there. So, and then you see KG, who we haven't really talked about, but we acknowledged at the beginning. KG is starting to do like a song on Biggie's album.
Yeah.
He starts doing shit with like Jean A. He starts doing shit with that group fucking Next, with that song about getting a boner that became the number one song in America.
That was a KG beat?
Yes.
I love that song.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Too close. That's that song. You're making it hard for me.
Oh, yeah.
Literally. I love that song. That song literally about every guy in the world has experienced that. Which is
it's
one song in America.
I remember me and my homie Ben, we drove down to New Orleans like the year that came out.
Yeah.
And it was just on the radio the whole trip. Like it just ended up becoming like the weird anthem of the whole trip.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. So KG did that. He was doing Jean A. So I think even his mark as a producer isn't known because he wasn't in videos the same way like Pharrell was, Timbaland was, Swizz Beatz, and like they would talk on records or sing the hook, or you know what I mean? So he was like a classic behind the scenes great producer, more like Buck Wild or like, I don't want to say Pete would talk on songs and shit, but I'm thinking like great behind like some of the hitmen from Puffy that just cranked out shit. You didn't really know who they were. So that's weird. And then Tretch also was never on other people's hits ever.
No.
Isn't that weird?
Well, he had a couple. I mean, he was like on a Dope D Nice song, but it wasn't a hit.
Yeah, he's not like the go. Like, why was he not the go-to hook guy for other people? He could make you a fucking $1 million.
Yeah.
That's weird. Like, no one was getting Tretch to be like, yo, first single's got to have Tretch on it. We got to have Tretch on it to sell this record. We need
That
Tretch.
is really bizarre, yeah. But it wasn't like that back then either. Like, you didn't always have that back then. Like, there was like a certain amount of pride. Like, I'm not having anybody on my first single. You could be on the remix to my first single, but you're not going to be on the main song.
Okay, sure. You're right about that. I'll give you that. But like, I'm looking at his features, right? Latifah, D-Nice, The Youngsters, Tupac with Tretch, Apache, and Live Squad off Strictly for My M-Bombs. Okay, that's not a hit.
Yeah.
Loyal to the Game on the Above the Rim soundtrack. That's not a hit. Vibin', which is a cool song with Boyz II Men.
Yeah.
I mean, not a smash. Rotten Rascals. South Central Cartel with Spice One, Boss, Ice-T. Not a hit. The Show soundtrack. He's on a song with J.O. Felony. He's on like all these West Coast songs, not hits. But then he's on Scream, Michael Jackson and Janet Jackson, Naughty Remix.
Yeah.
Never heard that in my life. I remember the song he did with LV. It's called Throw Your Hands Up. Throw your hands up if you want to get down.
I've never heard that one.
LV sang the hook on fucking Gangsta's Paradise.
No, yeah, I remember him. I just don't remember that song.
Okay. So he's on him. He's on a song with Aaliyah off the One in a Million album.
Yeah,
Girl Like You. I don't know that song. Then he's on a song with Monica off the Nutty Professor soundtrack. And then like, oh, and I remember this. He was on the MOP album, Brooklyn, Jersey, Get Wild, All First Family for Life. That joint's crazy. But I even remember back then getting that, and I was like, oh, that's weird. Like Tretch or Naughty by Nature's on this song? Like, huh. Interesting. That wasn't a single. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
He's Crazy Bone, Crooked Eye, Booyah Tribe, Damian Marley, Guru. Yeah, 3L, a lot of 3LW. A lot of 3LW songs.
Weird. That's just bizarre.
Super fucking weird.
So sorry, go ahead. What's your theory?
No, that's it. I'm sorry. I'm talking a lot. Yeah.
So I have a couple theories.
I'm sorry. Here, I want to wrap up my part. I'm so sorry.
Okay, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
My theory was that after a while, they were just completely on an island where their style wasn't the dominant style anymore, which happens to every new artist, right? Their crew, everyone kind of went their own way or fizzled out in Flavor Unit. Mm-hmm. Where they lived in their town, they weren't mentoring or bringing up people that could like really fuck with them and push them, or that they could like steal shit from, like Jay would do, like have like their own blood boys, right?
Yeah.
And then they don't have like any larger, they don't have like a larger connective tissue to like Native Tongues, Wu-Tang, Dog Pound, like Snoop, like that whole 213 shit. Like they don't have a bigger clique that they were associated, Boot Camp. They don't have that thing to go back to kind of recharge or lean on. I just always felt like they were just kind of like their own little world, and they were fucking massive for a couple of records, being huge, but then that was kind of it.
Yeah.
And so so now all you really have is like the 7 or 8 big singles. Yeah, and that's it. There's nothing else. That's it. I'm sorry.
So I got a few thoughts on it. First one is it kind of ties into like they weren't connected with anybody, but they were connected with one person. And that was Tupac.
Ah, okay. Yes.
Creates a lot of alienation where they're from.
Ooh.
And then they're not really accepted where their homie is.
Wow.
So there's like sort of like there might not like, and I don't know if this is the case or not, like how people felt about it, but like when he's like, when you're riding with like the enemy of everyone around you, people are gonna be like, fuck them.
Wow, I never thought of that.
So that's one. The other one is
real quick. Shouts to "Mourn You Till I Join You." That's actually like I really love that song, the Tupac song.
Which one?
"Mourn You Till I Join You."
Oh yeah, that's a really
podcast. That's a great song.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So the next one is, I think, and I hate this dude, but Bill Simmons had like a theory of there could like, in a lot of cases, there's like, there can only be one version of something.
Okay.
Right. Like, so like Ron Livingston was about to be big and then Paul Rudd came along and took it.
He did.
Right. Like that's the example he used.
Oh shit.
So there could really only be one rapper from Jersey, and Tretch was big for a while, and then Redman came through and took it.
But I was thinking about this. I don't think Redman's that much better than him.
Redman was much bigger than him though in the mid '90s. Like people in the hip hop community, people love Redman
in the hip hop world, but
Tretch.
in the record selling world, Redman never touched Naughty by Nature.
But that's not going to keep you like as far as like you're going to be revered long term by the way people feel about you within the culture that you're from.
Well, yeah, and like
Red
has like way better discography, like front to back
Yeah.
albums, and I think Red is a better like. He's a better memorable bar spitter than
Right. And
Tretch.
he's been on a lot of other people's songs.
That's my point. Yes.
Right? Like
And
a lot
he's
of the guest
connected-
appearance shit.
He's connected
Everywhere.
to Def Squad.
Yeah.
He was connected to Hit Squad early. He's
Wu-Tang.
connected to Wu-Tang. He's connected to K-Solo. Then he's connected to the weed community, right? He
Mhm.
was like he's so branched out all over the place. He was on a ton of R&B records too.
Dude, and he's got the acting career, tons
He
of
does.
R&B records, pop record. He was on Christina Aguilera.
Yes. You know what I mean? And then like the MTV Cribs moment, like that was a big fucking thing. And then opening like the Hard Knock Life tour with him and Meth, like we're probably the best performers, them and DMX.
Yeah. So that's one thing. And then
like I put it this way, I think
just
Tretch
fucking look weird. Like if you go through like their photos, you're like, who the fuck dresses like that? Like you just like looking at me
Redman
like,
doesn't dress the best either though. Let's be real.
he doesn't, but there's like
He's at least funny.
something like
He's at least funny about
he's
it.
at least funny, and there's like
I love Redman.
you know, like nobody really wants to like look at the dude who's wearing like a Carhartt vest with no shirt underneath it.
That's what I'm
And,
saying. Like
a
they've
dog
never
chain around his neck, or like a shark tooth. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm looking at this photo, and it's like then there was like a weird period where like KG put like extensions in his hair or something.
Yeah, that was
I'm just
weird
like,
with the
what
braids.
fuck's going on?
He looked like a death row weed carrier. 100%.
Yeah, he looked like Lil Chris from Boys in the Hood. He had the same hair as Lil Chris.
Yeah, I think okay. So there, yeah, I think Redman. You know, watching him and Meth like verses, I mean, it was fucking amazing. It was such an amazing situation. Listening to Tretch all day today, I was like, Tretch makes way better hooks and has better flow patterns and delivery than Redman. I thought about this today because I thought the same thing. I think like Redman like took the spot, but Redman's just a totally different animal than Tretch, but he's more approachable, enjoyable, memorable long term than Tretch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like songs like How High, you know, fucking Superman Lover, all that shit. Pick It Up, whatever, man. Like even like Let's Get Dirty. I don't like that song, but then Christina Aguilera took it. Like this is big shit. You know that How High moved. Like I remember being in the theater when How High came out, and the whole fucking theater was weed smoke. Or then my homie tried to light a Black Mile, and some guy's like, "Hey, could you put that out, please?" I'm like, "Are you fucking serious? This entire theater, it's like a weed smoke, dude." You're worried about Black and Mild? Yeah. So like Tretch doesn't have that type, even though he was his acting resume is fucking really good for, you know, you said just a working actor.
Yeah.
He doesn't have like memorable acting moments the way Redman does.
No, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like I think Red is just way more memorable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean he's also has like a more engaging personality.
Mm-hmm.
Like you want to be around Redman. You don't really want to be around Tretch.
No.
He's gonna leave like baby oil on your couch because he's not wearing a shirt. But and here's another one, and this is like a stupid reason as to why somebody should like not be seen as big, but like his whole thing with Peppa, right? Like he sort of became like known as the guy in the Salt and Pepper video.
And then he was like a deadbeat dad, or I remember there was like some drama with them at some point. I don't
there's
recall.
like even just like the weird lines in that song, like he's a good dad. He spends time with his kids when he can. It's like, it's not
I don't think that was about him at the time.
No, I know, but he's just in the video.
What a
that
kid.
they're together.
And he's just like doing concentration curls, but like he has like a wife beater like wrapped around the back of his neck like a little kid does, like a little boy does.
Yeah, it's just he's weird. He's so fucking weird, man.
He is a weird guy. He's definitely weird. I'll say this. The Naughty by Nature logo, all-time rap logo.
Oh yeah, without question.
Amazing logo. And I always thought like the Walkerware brand was like kind of biting their shit with like the way that they wrote.
They were Walker. Oh, weren't they Walkerware?
No, that's a different. I interviewed her for like Red Bull. She's.
I always thought they were the same thing.
That's what I always thought too, because it looks the same. But they have like Naughty Wear.
Right, they do.
And then Walkerware was a woman. That's her last name, Walker. What's her first name? I forget. But yeah, their logo is amazing. You would think they could just do selling hoodies forever with that logo.
Well, I mean, they got their own web store. I just pulled it up.
Oh, I gotta peep that. Oh, I found the Naughty by Nature hat.
Did
not
you?
the hat we're talking about. It's hold on, I can hold it to the screen. You can't.
Dude, they got a
look at the screen. Look at the screen.
Oh my god, look at that. That's amazing.
It says "Get down with OP." It's on yeah, I found that.
They got like a dope looking fitted.
Their merch is
which is the logo.
Yeah, like the logo is phenomenal.
Yeah.
But again, like it's not that even hasn't really penetrated the same way like the Public Enemy logo, the Wu-Tang logo, the Hyro logo. You know what I mean?
It's not as clean as those logos are though.
It's not, but it's pretty sick with the bat.
Yeah, it is. But I think it's hard to freak it a little bit.
You can't draw it. If you can't draw it on your backpack or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like
maybe. But they got dope hoodies on their website and everything.
Yeah, I gotta inspect that.
Yeah, like Tretch wears like I'm looking at photos on here. He like wears like giant New Jersey Devils.
Oh, that's
jerseys with like
David Putty
paper around his neck that they put around your neck when you go to the barbershop. It's like, what the fuck's going on, man? Like, what is his style?
He has some strange.
Yeah, you get Naughty by Nature slides.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's pretty intense.
I might have to get those for my daughter when she goes to camp.
Wow.
She'll be like, what is this? I'm not wearing this shit.
That's
fuck out of here, Dad.
Oh, that's insane. Yeah, I think okay. So let's talk about Vin Rock finally, because Castro is listening right now.
Yeah.
What an artery about to explode from his
about to
neck.
pop out of his head.
So what? All right, you might know these things more than me. What was the deal with people being signed to major labels in rap groups where one person would rap on 4 songs? But they're in the group.
Like Jerobi.
Like Jerobi, Fife, the other dudes in Lost Boys, Sendog, Vin Rock. Is it just because like it's their friend?
I think they were just part, like he was probably like a hype man in the group when they started. Right. And they just gave him like a couple verses and then they gave him more and more. He got better and better as it went on.
Yeah, I've seen clips.
That would be my guess that he was a hype man, because I don't even think he rapped on the first record.
He's barely around.
Yeah.
But it's like it's weird because like Fife wasn't a hype man.
Yeah.
Fife really isn't on People Just Think Their Travels heavy.
He's not. No, he doesn't really come in until the next record. But by then they like Jerobi's kind of out of there.
Yeah.
Like Jerobi doesn't rap on the first record.
Yeah, he just talks a lot. He talks a lot on the interludes and shit. But they would always say like he was like the glue guy. Like he was the one that would, like how ODB was for Wu. Like he was the one to keep everybody feeling good. If there was a beef, he would kind of de-escalate it really quickly. What I'm wondering about Vin Rock was like he's not bad.
No, he's not.
He's like pretty competent. I like his voice.
His voice is good. He's got good flow.
He's got a lot of presence to his delivery as well. Like even when you would see like live performances of them on like any shows like MTV Spring Break or like Arsenio or clips of them, he really knows how like to command an audience. He's really good at that. And I think like it's just strange that he was in their original, they were called like New Style or some shit. Like he was in that, like he was rolling with them. I think maybe my guess is when they went to Tommy Boy and changed their whole look and their name and all that, I think they were like, the deal is like, we have to like everything has to be about Tretch. He's the star. Yeah. The same way like the Fugees, when you listen to the first album, Blunted on Reality, it's like a Praz and Wyclef album.
Yeah.
And then the score is like Lauren. You know what I mean?
Because they dropped like a couple remixes where she just bodied everybody.
Yeah. And so they kind of realize like our future is with having this person dominate most of the record. And then you everyone else can kind of sprinkle in. Because I don't know anything about like their first group, the New Style. It was called
I know nothing about them.
Their album was called Independent Leaders, and it generated a hit, Scuffing Those Knees. It sounds like a 1930s. So Scuffing Those Knees.
Scuffing Those Knees. But it's definitely about oral sex.
Oh, shit.
There's no question about it.
I did not think about that. If you look at that first cover, look up the New Style, Independent Leaders. Yo, Vin looks like he's gonna chaperone somebody's date. He's got like an Argyle V-neck on. And then KG has shorts with like dress socks and loafers and a box.
Wow, look at KG's hair.
But look at his pants with the shorts.
Oh my!
He has like pleated shorts with dress socks and like red loafers.
Wow, look at that dude. He looks like he's definitely. He looks like the dude. Remember the Eddie Murphy like claymation show?
Mm-hmm.
The PJs?
The PJs, yeah.
He looks like Eddie Murphy's character.
And then Trench is like he's
like an old-timey baseball player.
He's like taking a shit in LL cosplay.
He played catcher for the 1918 New York Yankees.
Spider Ramirez at the home plate. If a Choo-Choo Coleman at first. Yeah, it's Vin Rock.
Vin Rock is definitely like one of Theo's friends in
he is Cockroach. He is Cockroach. He's got the cockroach outfit. That's the New Style. But apparently so it says they were, after the release of their first album, they were mentored by Queen Latifah and changed their name. I think that was Latifah's call.
Yeah.
To put I have to listen I did not listen to the New Style album. I would be curious to hear I would be curious to hear how prominent Vin Rock is on that shit, and then where he ended up, because he's on the fucking cover.
Interesting to see. He's right on the cover.
Yeah,
he was on the cover of Naughty by Nature's first record too.
He's on the cover of everything. So I don't know, but I think he's.
But I feel like he didn't even rap until like Uptown Anthem. I know I'm probably wrong, but
I think he's really fucking cool, man. I mean. For being on this, I mean, because Tretch is rapping a lot.
Yeah.
Like Tretch is doing 3 full verses with 1,700 words per verse on the bulk of the catalog. It's weird. I'm wondering like if Vin is in the studio, like I'd be curious to see what his role was historically, because they've done all the shows, like he's always there.
Yeah.
And Tretch has never gone solo. No, it's fucking weird. It's really weird.
Maybe he's Tretch's blood boy.
Here, Tretch, just take my forearm. Just go crazy with it. Just.
Well, the other interesting thing on their IMDb page, not IMDb, their wiki page, he's the only one that doesn't have his own wiki page.
What the fuck? Come on, that's disrespectful.
It's not disrespectful.
Like, I'm sure Spliff Star and like Sendog have their own wiki page.
Yeah.
Sendog. He has to be in here. Yep, Sendog's got his own shit.
Yeah, of course he does.
Come on, man. I gotta see if Spliff Star. Yep, he's got his fucking wiki. Come on, Vin Rock. Come on, guys.
Yeah, come on.
Seriously? You're not gonna give fucking Vin Rock his own Wikipedia?
No.
It's fucking bullshit.
Man, he was on a lot of stuff though. Not Vin Rock. KG. He's still dropping. He's working with Angie Stone.
Wow.
He was on the 2017 Belle Biv DeVoe.
All right. Why don't we take a break? We'll KG and wrap it up.
All right, cool. Sounds good.
Cool. Let's take a break. Peace.
Call Out Culture listeners, this is your boy Jason Griff, friend of the podcast. Just wanted to come through and let you know that I just dropped a new beat tape. It's called To Sample Only Water for 10 Days, and it's inspired by a John Frusciante album of a similar title. Hit up insubordinaterecords.com today and get yourself a digital copy. Use the discount code CALLOUT and take an extra 15% off. So hit Insubordinate Records, drop that discount code CALLOUT, get yourself 15% off, and as always, long live Scorsese, and fuck Jason Griff.
Bang, 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 bang. Full Out Culture Podcast. Yo, shouts to our Patreons, man. And shouts to our Twitter peoples. Following us on Twitter and fucking with us. Our Patreon's growing every day. So if you want to get some exclusive shit, we're doing our Patreons get an exclusive discount on $3 Pistol and Wrecking Crew shit for Bandcamp Day. Only our Patreon people get those discounts. So you can fuck with us on Patreon, patreon.com/Call Out Culture. I believe that's the URL.
Something like that, but just to Patreon Call Out Culture.
And then on Twitter, get with the fucking likes and subscribes and all that shit on iTunes. We want some new comments. Instead of fucking with me on Twitter all day, why don't you fuck with me on the iTunes reviews? 5 stars, say, hey, what a fucking exhilarating deep dive these guys are into. Okay.
Yeah, it's really deep diving.
Yeah, we appreciate it. So hit us
we
up
get
with
the
some
bends every time we come up from one of these episodes.
We love it. All right, so Alaska wants to talk about KG.
Yeah. So I mean, I mentioned it earlier. I think KG was a real special producer in that what he did with piano to me was like the equivalent of what Pete Rock did with horns. I said that earlier.
Yes.
But I was listening to the self-titled record, and I couldn't help but feel like he built vibes through that record the way like Primo built vibes through Step in the Arena. Right? Like the way like he sort of constructed that record with the sounds and the way like it sort of like transitioned from one beat to the next.
Right.
Like it really was, I'd say he was equally, if not more important than Tretch on that record.
I agree.
And I mean, the 1993 was a little bit different. It was still dope and he still had a lot of dope beats on it. But I think the first record, he really crafted like something that stands up with all the great rap records of like the sort of 88 to 91.
Totally.
And it's like you could put it up against anybody. And that album still stands up, and it's because of him.
He which was really cool about that record is he was taking the most obvious fucking samples in the world.
Yeah.
From Jackson 5 and Bob Marley, right?
Yeah.
And keeping them as glossy as possible, just putting like the high BPM drums on them, which were super dancey, and then having somebody playing like live keys. I'm not sure if it's him or not. I was reading about like the first album. There was a lot of like studio musicianship happening in there. But he still was making, Uptown Anthem. It's on like Hip Hop Hooray. Like, I mean, literally the definition of what hip hop sounded like those years, like those type of records, like that style. He nailed it. And I think it's really cool hearing, like I said in the beginning, the batches of styles of songs they've made for most of their career.
Yeah.
And that's him. And so where it really gets strange is their one album where they have like fucking like Master P on there and Silk the Shocker. I think it's 1999, which is not good. It's not good at all, but he's at least like branching out. It's 1999 Nature's Fury.
Yeah.
So the first song is called Ring the Alarm. It's amazing. The second song is Dirt All by My Lonely, which is crazy.
Great song, yeah.
Great song. Then it has like a bunch of weird shit. And then it has this one song, Jamboree, with Jeanne, which was a single. That song was used like all the time on like MTV B-roll and like MTV Cribs, all that shit. Like that beat, that instrumental, you don't know the song, but you've probably heard that instrumental a lot. So
yeah,
it's like super glossy R&B, like catchy type of shit. He kind of took that type of beat and then just kind of went crazy with it, moving on in his production career after that record. So he had shit on Black Rain. He had shit on.
Dude, he did the Unity fucking song.
Oh, that's him. Oh my God. Wow. He did all the shit for Jeanne's first album.
He did the big hits for Jeanne. He did shit on like the Aaliyah 1 in a Million album.
Yes. And then his
he did like the one of the two good Milkbone songs.
Milkbone. He did what did he do on? Oh, he did the Missing You joint for with Biggie on Life After Death. Every single day, daydreams. The with 112. That song is glossy and great. Let's see, Life After Death. Yeah, they started doing shit with like Deborah Cox next, Calvin Richardson, Coffee Brown, Jaheim, Allure,
Will Smith.
Oh wow, yes, okay, a lot of Jaheim, Luther Vandross, Dance with My Father. I remember that album, Dance with My Father. That's some heavy shit. Oh, Mary J. Love and Life.
He did some shit with Rick Ross.
Wow, yeah, he's just kind of like a working producer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't.
Hey, but he probably never has to work again. Like that's the thing.
No.
He's like
his credit. I
mean, I don't know like what happened with his royalties from fucking
Tommy Boy.
OPP. I mean,
Tommy's
and how Tommy Boy and all that shit went. Like apparently they were sued by or either sued or accused by like Tony D for like stealing some shit from them.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think KG he's probably the most underrated producer of all time.
Everything about Naughty by Nature, like just across the board, is the most underrated shit. They're like so weird. Easily the most underrated rap artist ever.
It's so strange. Yeah. He even did shit on the Anthem Inc. album they did in 2011, which it's super polished. It's very much of that time and style. So it's not like great. But it's just interesting to hear what they're doing like in year 20.
Yeah.
And so he's flexing a lot of like industry shit of that moment from 10 years ago. Pretty good actually on the record. It's not like really it's not a complete fucking embarrassment.
No,
like it is better than like the last like 7 albums, like without a question. But the
last 7 which albums?
Last 7 Eminem albums, like like the worst Naughty by Nature album is still much more enjoyable. But again, because he can give you 2 to 3 just good great beats per record, like great. Yeah. Which is you wish the percentage is a little bit higher, obviously, but the ones he gives you are smashes.
Yeah, without question.
And they're really different. You know what I mean? Like they're like him making Dirt All by My Lonely. And then making Jamboree, like if you listen to Jamboree and John A, you're like, how is this the same guy on the same record?
Yeah,
it's very weird.
Dude, he did like Uptown Anthem, and then he did Hey Mr. DJ.
Yeah, he's a special guy. But again, think about that. He's not tied into the same way like they're on islands. He's not like tied into like the South or So Def. You see what I'm saying? Like he doesn't have something tethering him the way D-Dot, I was in the Hitmen, you know what I mean, or like I was down with Beats by the Pound with No Limit, or I was one of the fucking Wu Elements on Fourth Disciple or some shit. It's really strange. It affects him too, even though his production career is like absolutely nuts. He's worked like legends,
and it's like there's no reason for people not to like him. I mean, not that I know of.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I'll say this, that Icons album that they made without him, because there was like beef or some shit. I mean, what's the one song?
The production sucks.
Well, the one song, which I wish the title was anything but, it's called Naughty by Nature with Carl Thomas, Beat Miners beat. Fucking amazing.
Really?
That song is amazing. And then they have a song with Lil Jon called Wild Motherfuckers, which is actually Flames, because it's like right before Lil Jon takes over the world. So like it's a pretty fucking cool song. And then they have a last song called Family Tree that Beat Miners did. So they have like 2 banging Beat Miners joints, and then but then you also it's funny to us. I forgot to say this. When you go through their catalog, you also hear like when the times are changing and like who they are fucking with. Yeah. So Poverty's Paradise has a lot of like Beat Miners nods, because that comes out like after Black Moon and probably Smith and Wesson.
I can see that.
So even though they have like Feel Me Flow, Craziest, Clap Your Hands, like there's a lot of moments in there where I'm like, oh, you were loving the Beat Miners that year,
Yeah.
It's kind of in that record. And then when they do like 1999, which is like a really fucking weird year for rap anyway.
Yeah.
Their shit's all over. Their albums all over the place. Like Crazy Bone is on the album, Coffee Brown, like I said, Masterpiece, Silk the Shocker, Mystical, Big Pun. His song is really bad.
Yeah, I can see that.
Next, it's the first time like they really start stacking the deck with like big names. And not, Rotten Rascals, Cruddy Click.
Yeah, I just realized on the cover of 1993, Tretch is holding a chainsaw.
Yes. Yeah. But you know what's crazy? Like even that cover, like none of their covers like iconic. Where like I would wear that on a t-shirt.
No, the first one's the most iconic, if anything.
Definitely. I think Poverty's Paradise is kind of cool, but like I wouldn't wear that. It's kind of cool. Yeah, and like 1993, 1999, Icon's not a good cover. Anthem Inc. Yeah, none of their stuff is the best. It's not like great like Bigger and Deffer album cover or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like that's a great fucking cover. Or like
exactly. Yeah, there's nothing really like special about their aesthetics. Kind of suck.
Yeah. But again, they were always like rough, rugged, and raw with the beanie hat with the tie around it and the fucking hoodies and chains, but then making like glossy, catchy shit. It's like I always like that, dichotomy with them. Looking like they just walked out of a fucking construction site.
Yeah,
and then wrap it on Jackson 5.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of like the Exhibit aesthetic too, right? Like
yes.
The way like he just looks like he came out of like 7-Eleven. Like he's like just came out with like a box of Intimate Donuts and like a quart of milk.
That's Shell's Exhibit.
He's just trying to get home to watch whatever show he wants to watch.
He's gonna watch fucking X-Files before he was in it. He's just catching up on it.
Wait, he was in X-Files?
He was in the movie, X-Files movie or show. He's in them.
Wow, I had no idea.
Yeah, Exhibit and X. They're like we got to make a dad joke. We got to put him in this fucking movie. Yeah, he's in one of the X-Files movies, and he's like a really serious role too. I don't think he's funny.
That's funny. I mean,
isn't it weird?
It is weird, but there were like a lot of rappers just acting, man.
Man. I love Exhibit, man. God damn, I love him. He's one of my all times. Yeah, he was in the X-Files. I Want to Believe from 2008.
Okay.
It's him. Look, oh my God, this cast. David Duchovny, Gillian Anderson, Amanda Peet, Billy Connolly, and Exhibit.
Wow.
Oh my God, Billy
Such
Connolly.
A weird cast.
Jesus Christ, Billy Connolly. He's fucking 78 years old. God damn.
Billy Connolly.
I remember when he was on Head of the Class, I thought he was like the coolest fucking guy in the world.
Oh yeah.
I was like, he's the really cool teacher.
He replaced Howard Hesseman.
Yes. Man, what a come up. Yeah. To go from Howard to Billy.
Yeah.
Howard Hesseman. Wow. And the best part was his fucking character's name was Billy.
Yeah.
That's always wild lazy to me.
Yeah. So it was like one of those things where it's like, it's like the star left is gonna go down.
Right, but like his name's fucking Billy Connolly. Like, oh, your name's Billy McGregor.
Yeah.
It's like Woody Harrelson, like Woody and Cheers. Like it's fucking Woody.
Cheers, yeah.
Just Woody. He's just always Woody.
Just always Woody. That should just always be his name in every movie.
Natural Born Killer. Mickey and Woody. Natural Born Killers.
There you go.
Or Mallory. Mallory and Woody. Woody and Mallory. Yeah. Well, I don't think we have any other things to say.
No, I think we hit on it a bunch, but I think people should revisit those records, man. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. What's your favorite song after like spending the day with everything?
Wow, great question. All right, of new songs that I've never heard, I would probably say it's a tie between the Naughty by Nature song with Carl Thomas.
Okay.
Off Icons, tied with Ring the Alarm off of 1999, because he's doing like the patois reggae shit on the chorus.
Yeah.
And then on the Carl Thomas joint, he's doing the patois chorus. Like shit is when they do that shit is the best.
They do it really well. It's good.
It's the best. So that's why I'm always wondering what his background is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe his family.
There's not much information on him.
There is not. So I wonder if like
Yeah.
his family is from one of those places. What's your like top naughty jams?
I mean, right now, and I don't know why, but it's been stuck in my head all day since I started listening to him. Feel Me Flow.
God, I love that song. It's a great song.
It's so goddamn good. But you know, like I really like the shit with Freddie Fox on
that shit is hard. That shit is so
on
hard.
1993. That shit, like the hot potato shit. I like the one with Heavy D as well. The Ready for Them is real dope. Take It to Your Face is really cool. But you know which one today hit me that like shocked me how much I loved it? The Pin the Tail on the Donkey.
That's a weird song.
Off the first record. It's a weird song, and I was like, what is this song?
So weird.
But yo, he goes off so hard on that shit.
He does.
Like,
man.
that's like one of his best lyrical performances, I think. I was like, wow.
He goes wild. Like he
goes wild. He fucking destroys Das Effects on there.
Oh, he rips them. He again, like when you hear him with Heavy, it's incredible. When you hear him with Freddie Fox, incredible. You hear him with Dot, like when he's with big name people, he rises to the occasion. He doesn't get chomped up.
Oh no, not at all.
And even like the Icons album, there's like one of the first songs is with Red and Meth. I mean, you know, the album. They have a song with fucking Pink. It's so bad. A lot of 3LW.
Yeah.
And then they keep that one dude Icarus that was like down with Redman. He's on a song with Freddie Fox.
Like, who is this dude?
Yeah,
I mean, like they barely have their shit on Rap Genius.
Yeah,
which is crazy. It's like, why? How do you not have more Naughty by Nature on Rap Genius?
It's a lot. It's a lot of typing, dude. It's a lot of words.
It is a lot of typing, but you know,
a lot. I mean, that's their whole thing. But
you got fucking like every A$AP record on there.
Yeah, well, exactly. Tretch does not garner that dedication to sit there and type songs for fucking 50 hours.
Yeah, I guess not. And nothing against A$AP. I'm just saying, if you're gonna have wordy motherfuckers.
Yeah, they're. I mean, super fucking jeez. Like some like low key, unbelievably wordy cats.
Yeah.
God damn, that's the shit. All right. Well, we nailed it. We
I think we did it.
Crushed this one. You know, knocked it out the box. With Castro on the sidelines.
Yeah.
He's day to day, but then again, aren't we all?
Wow, what the fuck was that sound?
What's up?
Did you hear that? It's just a crazy, weird sound. What's that?
Oh, it sounds like someone's like flush.
Oh no, my daughter just was going to the bathroom. She flushed the
toilet. I was about to say, I was like, it sounds like someone's flushing the toilet in a wind.
No, there's this weird, like, it was like this weird, like, electrical sound.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Well, that's about it, man. By the time this episode airs, hopefully the new Wrecking Crew pre-order is up for Steel's Kitchen on.
Is there going to be a single that's dropping with that, or is the first single?
Yet to be determined.
Okay.
I really can't pick one song that I think should be like the main. I'm just on some cocky shit with this. I really like Raheem's Lament we put together last year just because it was Bandcamp Day and we wanted to just take part in it and get people excited about us and see if people would like it, and they really did. So for this year we were like, let's take a more focused approach with it, and really in honor of DMX. That's why we did it, because you know, the Rough Riders compilations meant a lot to everybody when they hit, and DMX passing. So it was kind of like a slapdash operation, really, but patterning it. I mean, I really just sat and arranged it based on Sound Bombing too, which is like one of my favorite compilations. So just trying to fit what feelings and what vibes are hitting from that record compared to what we have. And I think between all of us, you know, like the new song you did for Cargo Cults, and then your guest appearances, and the new Shrapnel records, the new Career Crooks records, you know, new solo shit from me, Castro, and Prem. I mean, everything is so different, you know, from Steel Tip Dove and Griff and Small Pro and me and Barry doing beats. The hardest part is like piecing it all together, but it's fucking crazy. Like, I'm always catching new spots. I'm like, oh, this is the shit right here.
That's dope.
And I've heard it. Yeah, I've heard it a million times. So I'm into it, which is a good sign. Nice. Usually I'm kind of like, all right, let's get this fucking thing out. I don't want to listen to it anymore. But yeah, the pre-orders will be up, and then the CDs and Digi will be dropping in June, probably with some merch bundles or something like that. We'll have something up. But Cryptic One's gonna be mastering it, and then PQ did the art. And yeah, man, it's fucking flame. So I'm excited to get that out of it. Peoples, I think it's about it. So fuck with our Patreon, fuck with us on Twitter. Anybody wants to run our IG, let us know. That'd be fun. Because Castro does not want to do it. And that's about it. Well, good show, my friends.
You as well. And cool. We'll see y'all next week.
Yes. Peace all.
Peace.
Later.